Bro, I'm just gonna go all out for Wilson.
All right, welcome into the Fantasy Pros Fantasy Football Podcast. It's the Week 12 Start Sit episode where we'll help you go ahead and jump into whether we're starting or sitting the popular waiver wire ads. Starting with Emmanuel Wilson for the Green Bay Packers, currently coming in at ECR RB21. He was the big catch of the week, right? Now rostered in 66% of leagues after scoring 13.9 fantasy points after Josh Jacobs went down with an injury. You are the resident cheesehead in the building. So, is there anything that's preventing you from saying Wilson is an auto start against the Vikings this week?
Yeah, maybe one thing that I'll get to in a second, Seth. But just first, an appreciation to have Emmanuel Wilson be such a focal point of attention this week is an example of why fantasy football is such a wonderful game.
You're right.
No one in the fantasy community was talking about or debating Emmanuel Wilson this summer. No one was talking about Emmanuel Wilson when he came to the league as an undrafted free agent from Fort Valley State. Shout out Fort Valley State. And now this week, he was the darling of the waiver wire, and there's been a lot of debate about how much was too much as far as fab spending for Emmanuel Wilson. I've got him ranked RB24, which puts me about 3 spots behind ECR on him. And Wilson is a very competent backup running back, big enough to handle a substantial workload. I'm just not 100% sure he is going to get a substantial workload, even if Josh Jacobs is indeed out. And as of Thursday morning, the invaluable Fantasy Pros Are They Playing tool was giving Jacobs a 41% chance of playing this week. The Packers have 2 very competent pack of running backs. Emmanuel Wilson is one, Chris Brooks is the other. Wilson has played 178 offensive snaps this season, Brooks 72 snaps. I don't know if the reason Wilson has played more is because the backers have deemed him to be better than Brooks. I think it might be just because Brooks is more heavily involved in special teams. Wilson is not. Brooks has actually played the third most special team snaps of anyone on the Packers. Brooks is a good player. And in fact, with about 6 minutes left in the Packers game against the Giants last week, and the Packers down by one, Jordan Love had this big completion to Savion Williams that moved the Packers into the red zone. Brooks had a phenomenal blitz pickup on that play that bought Love all the time he needed. So it would not surprise me if Jacobs is out this week, if Brooks contributes pretty heavily this week.
Well, that's just not true.
75-25 split in Wilson's favor. It could be more like 60-40 or 55-45, and entirely possible Matt LaFleur just goes with the hot hand approach.
Yeah, and we've seen how that can sometimes affect fantasy running backs. Specifically last week, R.J. Harvey got sniped at the goal line when everyone was firing him up and excited, and Jaleel McLaughlin gets in there. So, Jake, do you think it could be a Fulgy game from Emmanuel Wilson, or are you pretty confident in rolling him out there in the RB2 position?
As an RB2, but what Fitz said is also as a complete aside is why all of these handcuffs in the world need to be on rosters. Like, stop. It's that point of the year. We do not want to be chasing all of our fab on Emmanuel Wilson, which could blow up in our face. Anyway, go back to the Broncos days where it's like, is it Ronnie Hillman or is it, I forget the other one? Like, we're always picking the wrong Broncos running back. But that's also where I agree with Fitz on this, is that it might be the wrong one. We started this season, and everybody was saying Chris Brooks was the next man up, and then that evaporated. And I think I was on Chris Harris's podcast, and he drew the comparison of Wilson to Chris Rodriguez, which I thought was a really good one, as that kind of power back is not going to do a lot in the passing game. And so, like, let's say Chris Rodriguez was on the Packers. We'd all be saying, yeah, cool, RB2. But also understanding the risk that Fitz brought up is that if this goes somehow competitive, maybe the Vikings shock us and it goes sideways and all of a sudden the Packers are playing catch up, the passing downs are probably going to lean to Chris Brooks, as he said. I agree with that. So an RB2, but an RB2 with risk. I have him one spot in front of Judkins just because I hate the Browns offense at this point. And I mean,
Just let me know when to search.
I spent like 30s and 40s for Judkins, despite getting 18 touches. But if you want to start Judkins, like, that's the range that I think he's in, is like the Judkins, the Aaron Jones workloads, those kind of guys. So I'm not going to split hairs on, like, if you really want to be like, I want to start that guy, no problem with it, but that's where he is. Back end RB2 for me with Fitz. A little bit higher, but not much.
Okay. And let's go to another Wilson, Michael Wilson, wide receiver for the Arizona Cardinals, ECR wide receiver 21. It may have taken 2.5 seasons, but we finally got the breakout performance from the Stanford product last week when he finished as the wide receiver 1 overall, scoring 33.5 fantasy points. No Marvin Harrison Jr. again this week. So are you starting Michael Wilson with confidence against the Jags this week, Jake?
I chuckle because that's actually legitimately where I have him, is at 21. I think it was a little bit lower, but it's risen over the week, where I wonder if some people were ranking Marvin Harrison, not knowing what might go on with that. But it really comes down to, like, this is me, somebody who was higher than most of Michael Wilson coming out of college, and it has been disappointing. Like, I want to root for Michael Wilson because I thought the signal was there for where he could get. I see, and like kind of one of those, like, okay, let's understand maybe a year 3 type of thing where he needed more development, and that's understandable. Like, he wasn't a complete prospect coming out of college. All that being said, throw all of that to the side, and like, we've been waiting. Like, it really comes down to Jacoby Brissett. Maybe he's not throwing 57 times, but he's averaging, even if you throw that game out, he's averaging almost 40 attempts per game. He is playing the Petsic offense better than Kyler Murray was. And the one
Hello, friends, and welcome to Fantasy Pros, the Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm Chris Welsh. We got Pat Fitzmaurice and Andrew Erickson for the How About Them Apples all season long. Drake May has been moving and moving and moving up the list. He has reached the pinnacle, number 1 quarterback this week, because he's also got the Bengals. He has gotten there. Shout out to Fitzy again. Lamar Jackson comes in at number 2. Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, and Matthew Stafford is your top 6. Jared Goff at 7. Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott, Jacoby Brissett, Daniel Jones, and Caleb Williams. So, unfortunately, I set up, you know what? We're going to talk about the top 10. Fitzy, I give you 15 seconds, podium, if you want to have an acceptance speech of Drake May getting to the number 1 overall spot. This is just your moment for just 1 second.
I don't know if I can because I don't have Drake May ranked QB1 this week. I've got Lamar Jackson against the Jets coming off a bad game. I think Lamar goes nuclear this week against the Jets.
Erickson, do you have him at number 1?
Yeah, because I'm not a hypocrite.
Erickson, I'm going to give you 15 seconds. Would you like to have an acceptance speech as an actual Patriots fan, too, for Drake May? Anything anybody you'd like to thank?
It's the Bengals. He can be throwing to me out there. He can throw for 4 touchdowns. Come on.
You're a pretty good receiver. We played football together. Pretty good. All right, but we're not going to really talk about the top end guys. Just, there's not a ton of question in it unless you are like George Drake May or Patrick Mahomes. Most of the guys are chalk. Though I will say, like, Brock Purdy has gotten up to 8, but he's got a phenomenal matchup against the Carolina Panthers. The guy we're going to start with, I love this one because I said early in the week, I think this is one of the really great streaming options if you are in need of a quarterback, if you had a bye week situation or an injury or whatever you're dealing with. Jacoby Brissett comes in at number 10, and I love this. You guys are in agreement. He's going up against the Jaguars, past the ever-living crap against the 49ers, set an NFL record. I don't think a ton is going to change, especially with the running game here. I think, at least pre-week, I thought Brissett was like, this is a great streaming option, but he comes in at number 10. If he's floating out there, Daniel Jones was actually the very specific player, which we're going to talk about in a second. I said I would rather Jacoby Brissett start over, and I got chastised by Mr. Scott Bogman. But I'm Brissett stan here. Fitzy, why don't you kick us off? You've also got him at 10.
Yeah, and I think I have him one spot ahead of Daniel Jones. I don't want it to seem like I'm chasing last week's points with Jacoby Brissett a week after he set the NFL record for most completions in a game with 47. But this is another pretty good matchup for Brissett. The Jaguars do have a better pass rush than the 49ers, who don't have one at all. But the Jaguars are a pass funnel. Opponents are throwing against Jacksonville at the second highest rate in the league, and the Jaguars' run defense is pretty good. So I think the Cardinals are probably going to let Brissett air it out rather than slam Bam Knight into a pretty good run defense 20 times.
Erickson, you're going to have to put Jacoby Brissett in over, a few other big names, Daniel Jones being one of them, which you know what, actually, let's just kind of float it in here, and we'll come back to you on this as well, Fitzy. But Erickson, you've got Daniel Jones at 16, and you've got Jacoby Brissett at 11, so you're even kind of further off on this. I think I feel pretty confident matchup base-wise about Brissett. But talk to us about Brissett, and then feel free, Erickson, to throw your Daniel Jones discussion in it as well.
Yeah, Brissett's been top 10 quarterback in 4 or 5 games started this season. So there's always the concern that garbage time points sometimes run out. As we know, famously by Blake Bortles. Again, he was like basically a top 5 fantasy quarterback off all of garbage time for an entire season. But then you get exposed eventually. So that is always a concern that the rug gets pulled out underneath us with Jacoby Brissett at some point because he's not good. But it's just like he's scoring fantasy points, which we like. So that's like one concern. Besides that, everything else is perfect for him to be a top 12 quarterback again. And then you asked me about Daniel Jones as well. Yeah. So Jones, I think this is a tough matchup for him. On the road at KC, a dome team. Just look, Daniel Jones has been outside the top 15 quarterbacks in his last 2 games, and he has 0 top 10 finishes on the road this season. He's better under dome conditions when the Colts offense can operate at a higher level. And I think if the Colts want to go into KC and win the game, it's give the ball to Jonathan Taylor 30 times. Right? That is the strategy. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. So, yes, Jones has a lot of talented playmakers, but I just don't think this is a ceiling type game for him. And really, Daniel Jones has been more of a floor play as like a back end fantasy 2B1. And I just don't think that this is a great spot for him to have a 2B1 performance.
And Fitzy, coming back to you on that, you are closer in it that you have Daniel Jones, but it's 1 spot lower than Brissett. But both of them are QB1s where Erickson has pushed Daniel Jones outside the top 15. So you are in agreement that Brissett would be someone you would play over Daniel Jones, but you still like him as a QB1. What level of worry do you have on this matchup?
Yeah, so there's some concern about the matchup for sure, and there's also some concern that the clock has struck 12 on Daniel Jones, and the carriage has turned into a pumpkin, and the glass slippers shattered into a million little pieces. In his last 2 games, Daniel Jones, 4 interceptions. He's taken 12 sacks and he's fumbled 6 times in his last 2 games. But then again, over those last 2 games, Daniel Jones has averaged just under 300 passing yards with 2 touchdown passes, and he has run for 57 yards and a touchdown. So he's still doing the things we like for fantasy, even though he's certainly not doing the things the Indianapolis Colts and their fans want to see.
All right, Daniel Jones, Brissett in here. Here's a quarterback that ranked higher like a day ago and has been pushed outside of the top 12. It's Baker Mayfield, who comes in at ECR 14. Fitz, that is where you have him. But Erickson, you have Baker Mayfield higher than either the two quarterbacks we talked about, Brissett or Daniel Jones, even though he doesn't show up on this list. So, Erickson, why don't you hit us with Baker Mayfield for Week 12?
He's been a top 7 quarterback back weeks since he came back from the bye week. And although he didn't put up monster passing yards last week, the rushing was back last week. He was scrambling more after he'd been dealing with some injuries and he wasn't running more. So give me all the Baker Mayfield you can have, right? He is on the road as an underdog off a loss in a revenge game spot. This is like the perfect spot to back Baker Mayfield. So I like going with him here. I think that he is one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL, and I can't bring myself to start Jacoby Brissett over Baker Mayfield. I just can't do it because I know one guy is so clearly head and shoulders above the other one in terms of playing the quarterback position. And it's not like Baker Mayfield has been bad in fantasy. Yeah, he had a couple down weeks, but that happens. His receivers were hurt. A couple things. He was also banged up, but he's been the top 7 guy the last 2 weeks, like I said. Potential shootout against the Rams. The Buccaneers know they're going to have to score points if they're going to want to keep up with LA and Matthew Stafford on the road in the dome. Yeah, I'm all about buying dip on Baker Mayfield after he's been pretty good the last couple weeks.
But so what do you think about Baker? You got him at ECR at 14, so a little bit less optimistic.
And this does seem like a spot where maybe Baker Mayfield could get into a duel with Matthew Stafford and put up like really big numbers. But Baker Mayfield's been in kind of a mini slump over his last 4 games. He's averaging just 5.7 yards per pass attempt. And now it's a tough match.
can't. Is
Bro, what?
you
Are you
experience the value
serious?
of that better way of living. So how can we turn this into some tangible motivation for right now? Let's keep going.
Got my credit repaired, and now I know the value because it's useful now, you know. So now I know the value of having good credit because I've been through all the things that having good credit.
What Echo Charles is getting here more effectively, I think, than Jocko is. Echo Charles experienced the benefit of getting his credit together. And that was what showed him the value. You have to experience the benefit. So, which is really tough if you've never experienced it. It's like this catch-22.
That's so frustrating. Like, I'm right there, and
or the discipline of going and getting it.
like my 3 guys can't even touch him.
But if you don't want it, you're never going to get to the experience. So how do you break yourself out of that loop? And Jocko doesn't seem to have a good answer for that. The way to get out of that is to start with the absolute smallest possible thing that you can. James Clear talks about this, Atomic Habits. Sure, Jordan Peterson talks about this. Russ Harris talks about this, I think, too. You have to start with the absolute smallest possible thing because you have to get yourself to the experience of something better as quickly as you possibly can. Because the comfort is the thing that's real to you right now. That desire to stay in the thing that you know is excruciatingly strong. Echo Charles may have been able to do it because he had no choice, but is that really a good way to live your have absolutely no choice but
How is that not a penalty? He's literally impeding my route. That's some bull crap. That is some grade A bull crap. He's literally impeding my route past 5 yards, and that's not a pass interference? What? That is so frustrating. I'm glad I got the first, but that's...
do it or face complete disaster and ruin or death. Is that a great way to find motivation? I don't think so. So, Jocko is a little bit right in that you do have to start making decisions at some point. And there is a level of willpower that we can have for a certain amount of time. All right, I'm just gonna muscle up and I'm just gonna make myself do something that I don't want to do. But if you don't get to the experience of something better as quickly as you possibly can, your willpower won't last long enough to get you there. Rather than waiting until everything falls apart to force you into a place where you have no choice but to start moving in that direction, start to train yourself with very, very small things. If it's a faith-related thing, you want to strengthen your faith, you want to get closer to God. As God says of himself, taste and see that I'm good. God wants you to experience that he's good, not just know on paper that he's good. He wants you to experience it. And so finding little small ways here and there, maybe it's just going for a walk outside in nature and getting connected with God's creation, or spending a short time in prayer instead of talking to God and bringing your requests to him, just listen for him. Right? Small little things that can get you that experience of that better thing that you want so that you can taste and see that there's this real experience out there of something better. There's something better than just being comfortable. So, all right. Let's look for their seats. Let's see if what he's saying is working. Let's see how people feel about it. Jocko, you don't get discipline from an external source. Me gets discipline from Jocko. Oh, gosh. But the internet is undefeated. Sorry, Jocko. You may be one of the toughest bad butt dudes on the planet. But
Oh my
yeah,
god.
it's
Okay, so don't block. Don't block.
Okay, interesting here.
I need to figure out how to get
Making a
my
list of
guys
things
to
you know will
block.
improve your life, waking up in the morning and
This is where I lose. Oh my god, it's in his hands and he just drops it. He just fucking drops it. My line can't block. My receivers can't catch, apparently. And my guys can't tackle. Yeah, I'm cooked. I guess good win, Stump. because there's nothing I can do. They're just he's gonna continue to run and be able to get 10 yards of carry, basically. Yep. What do you know? Wow. God. His defenders catch up to me, even though I have like 96 speed guys, and my defenders cannot ever, even when they're flat-footed, catch up to his players. That's the difference. That's the difference. He'll get this. No way! No way! I was right there! I was right there! Are you serious? Why does this fucking game hate me? I'm right there! And he just stands there. This is why I fucking hate this game. You goddamn know if that was him, the defender. I'm. What else? He's in the backfield and it's like, no, he's just gonna go forward for 5 yards. This is so aggravating. It's like it doesn't matter what I do. Oh, I'm right there on 4th down. Oh no, he gets it. Oh, got him tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Oh, nope. Like at this point, I give up. I'm never gonna be good at this game. I can be a perfect position and everything. Oh, no, doesn't work out. I'm not clicking on. Maybe I should have. Then my guy doesn't behave like a dumb shit. That's just this whole game. Guy behaving like a fucking dumb shit. Oh, his running back actually didn't get to drag like 3 or 4 of my guys for like 10 yards. I am shocked. Oh well, I lost. I guess good win by him. Tackle him at about the 5, and he's able to carry it for 3 or 4 yards. My guy gets tackled, it's actually a tackle or a fumble. Must be nice. Yep. Knew that was going to happen. Yep, game over. Game fucking over. That's so fucking awesome. I fucking love that when that fucking happens. I'm literally in position every single time on defense, but nope, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Be in position and just get screwed for it. Click on, it doesn't work. Click off, or am not on. They just don't even react at all. It's like, when the fuck is the point? I'm glad his defenders can react. I'm glad. I mean, mine don't, and I have a 99 defense, but it's all right. Why would I be able to react? Why would that be a thing? There's no here we go. It's just that's what's going on in the game. There's nothing I can do about it. Maybe I should just sit here and be quiet and let him give me bell to ass and not talk about the game's fucking awful mechanics. Yeah, I'm sure you do. When it benefits you, when you like glitchy gameplay and stuff that just doesn't make fucking sense. Yeah. No, it's over. It is fucking over. Dude wants to talk about, oh, I like this gameplay. After the last drive, I had him on 4th down, and the computer just doesn't even. Of course, green throw. Receiver doesn't even pay attention. It's like they're not even there. Do you have a brain, bro? Or no? It doesn't matter whether they piss me off or not. Act like it's the little things, but it's the things that extended the drive and allowed him to go up by multiple scores. Man, if I got advantages like being able to throw through players, but I don't. I'm not gonna score because his line can just go through immediately. I haven't had one play this whole game where I got separation on the line, like a block shed or something. Not one all game. I mean, I guess power of positive is great when it feels like it's even. Bro, I'm cooked. No way! No way! No way! This is the bullshit I'm talking about! Four, this has been happening the whole game! 4th and 1, and he fucking has two guys wrap him up, and he's able to push through as I'm mashing down the button. Oh my god. Man, fuck this game. Yep, like clockwork. He's gonna score a touchdown, game's over. Don't even know why I fucking loaded up. I knew what was gonna happen. Yeah, good luck with that. Yeah. I would love for that to happen, Christian, but it's not going to happen. I'll probably hold him to fourth down and he'll get some sort of crap. Right there! But not! Yep, that makes sense. That makes fucking sense. Why not? Why not? Why not? Bro, just score. You know you're gonna fucking score, so just fucking do it. I hope he tears his ACL. I hope all his players tear their ACLs. Like, honestly, at this point. Well, yeah, just bounce off 2, 3 tacklers. What does that matter? What does it matter? What does it matter? Doesn't matter. Oh, oh, wow. Got him in position where I should get him behind the line, or I'm right there. Nope, doesn't work. That's why I hold him to a field goal. People say, oh, hold him to a field goal, hold him to a field goal. Yeah, I wouldn't if he doesn't have the power of bullshit behind him. Honestly, fuck this game. Yep, imagine that. Wow, I'm so shocked. My guy, that it was like immediate. I just got the ball and everybody's through the line. Are you fucking The game is over, pal. It was over at kickoff. This game makes me want to eat glass. Yeah. Imagine fucking that. This game makes me want to eat glass and drink battery acid. It's the biggest amount of piece of trash that EA has ever made. And that's saying something from EA. Oh, shut the fuck up, you fucking retard, Jalen Branson. Retarded ass fucking name. Probably what had his head dropped on as he was a kid. Of course. Imagine that! Yay! Yay! Michigan State! Fucking hey! Who could have guessed that that would happen? Oh! Why do I even fucking try? Why do I even fucking try? I hope all the players on my team get torn ACL and have an unfortunate accident, to be honest. They're all fucking trash. All of them. Makes sense it's USC, this trash ass fucking school of fucking spoiled children. Fuck USC. Fuck college. Oh, but my running back can't get a broken tackle. Nope. Nope. That would never happen. Why would that happen? Why would I get a broken tackle? Ever. Doesn't matter what I do, doesn't matter what defense I run, doesn't matter if I'm in position or not, it'll just be a... Might as well just start pitching it. Maybe I should just start running the oop-de-doo. Running around, just pitching it the whole time. That's probably a better offense than whatever I can fucking do on this game. I fucking hate this game. Fucking hate it. Biggest amount of dog trash they ever made. This game makes Madden look like a fucking superstar game. It is the worst piece of trash I've ever fucking played. Couldn't do that earlier, but now that the game is over, he can be tackled by one person. Awesome. Yeah, you fucking suck. You're the worst goddamn company. You should probably just shut down for how trash you are. Yeah, now he can be tackled by one person. The whole game he wasn't able to get tackled by one person, but now that the game's over. Oh, yep. Can be tackled by one person. That makes sense. You know, the game and its logic. One team, the player can get a Blake. I don't fucking care. Doesn't matter. I'll lose to whatever user I play. So it doesn't matter. I'll play Michigan later this year and I'll probably lose 35 to fucking 0. I'll have players in possession and some bullshit will happen. So it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter. Oh, it's one bad game. You got it. You can still compete. No, I can't. Fuck Michigan State. Fuck everybody. Fuck this league. Fuck college football. Fuck it. Fucking hate this game. This is why I dread going on college football game. Because I know some bullshit's going to happen. Especially if I'm playing a user. If I'm playing a user, oh, the bullshit's going to happen all the time. Fucking bullshit. That game was within reach until, like, all the fourth downs. Yep. Multiple fourth downs that led to touchdowns. And he could just break tackle and go through my guy. Like I was a fucking ghost. That makes fucking sense. Nothing else if not for the power of bullshit in this game. It's the most powerful force in the world. I'm gonna be honest. I hope everybody, all their players, get torn ACLs. Yeah, I'm fucking pissed. You try to play a good game with a good game plan, and some bullshit just bails people out all the fucking time. It's the most aggravating thing ever. That first fourth down, where I was right there, but it acted like my guy was a ghost, and he just went through him. Yep. And then he got a touchdown. Oh, two guys behind the line of scrimmage, wrapping him up, and he just pushes forward for 2 yards for the first down. That was a touchdown, too. And then my guy's open, and he gets the animation of all animations, which led to a touchdown. Oh, yep, the game. I'm going to go on Madden where the game doesn't absolutely bend me over and treat me like a bitch.